Why did you decide to get vaccinated?
When the COVID pandemic first occurred, I was in the hospital treating patients, completing my internal medicine residency. It was a very scary time. Patients were dying, they were requiring oxygen, and then shortly after, they required more oxygen and intubation. And so that meant that they had to have a tube in their lungs and they were going to the ICU. Some of them never made it out of the ICU, and some of them were lucky enough to make it out of the ICU and survive. I got the vaccination because I was showing up to work every day. I was afraid and I wanted to best protect myself and develop some immunity. Not only that, I wanted to protect my patients and the staff and also my family and friends. I never wanted to be the person who gave my dad, my sister, or my brother COVID. I don't think I'd be able to live with myself if that was something that I did. And so I knew that getting the vaccine would at least help decrease the transmission of COVID to my loved ones. So that's why I got the vaccine.
So I would say I got vaccinated for two primary reasons. The first being that I just didn't want to give it to anybody else. I have aging parents with comorbidities. I have dozens of patients and family members every single day that I see in clinic. And I wanted to do everything I possibly could to minimize that risk, even though the risk of the disease to myself is less than probably the average person in the population. The second part is that as a veteran who raised their hand to swear an allegiance and an oath to the United States when I was 18 years old, I took that as an act of service, much like I take the vaccine as an act of service to those around me, both in my immediate community and when it comes to our nation and our well-being as a whole.
I was so excited when I had the opportunity to get vaccinated. Like many healthcare workers, I was working with COVID patients during the first surge in March of 2020. It was a really scary experience taking care of patients who had a new disease that we didn't know a lot about. We had some idea about how it was transmitted, but we weren't completely sure. So all of us were really scared about the possibility that we might bring COVID-19 home to our families. So for me, it was a great relief to be able to be vaccinated and know that I had that extra layer of protection when I came to work. And then especially when I went home from work, to know that I wasn't likely to bring it home to my kids and get them sick.
Doctors got vaccinated to protect themselves, their patients, their families, and their communities.
For more information, visit www.covid19letstalk.org.